Hey, namaste, y'all. Welcome to the All About Woo weekly LOVEstream live stream. Welcome, namaste, y'all. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You can drop me emoji in the comments or let me know if you're watching the replay and just giving a moment for everyone to get signed on. It takes a moment for this live to show up in the All About Woo tribe with yours truly, Becca YogaBex Cummings. So thankful to be here with everyone. This is the next part in the series all about your gut-brain connection. So today's part is part 3 of 4, and it's about your messengers, the messengers in the gut-brain connection, also known as the neurotransmitters. And neurotransmitters are the messengers that flow between through that synaptic gap. We have synapses in the brain. There's a gap there, and they actually flow through that synaptic gap and plug into receptors on the next neuron on the other side of that gap. It's a really amazing process. And many of you already know this, but a lot of your serotonin is produced in the gut itself. So our gut microbiome is very important. The health of our gut, actually, the physical health of our gut, as well as the gut microbiome, are very key for the health of our neurotransmitters and the health of these biochemicals. And I invite you to tune in on Friday, even if you're not going to do the whole Let That Shit Go boot camp. But on Friday, we're really diving in deeper to talk more about some other reasons why willpower cannot hold a candle to cravings and behaviors sometimes. This is one piece of it today. So neurotransmitters and our biochemistry, your willpower cannot hold a candle if your biochemistry is out of whack. Your energy is going to be off, your moods, your digestion, your sleep, your ability to focus. You can suffer from depression because of this biochemical imbalance. And so getting those neurotransmitters back into balance is really key, and I'm super excited to share this information with you today. So thank you for tuning in, either for the live or the replay. You can let me know where you're tuning in from. And this gut-brain connection, right? Last week talked about the gut microbiome, and next week we're going to talk about the vagus nerve, the longest nerve in the body. That's like a superhighway connector. It's the primary player in your rest and digest relaxation response. And we're going to talk about ways to tone that nerve, to elevate the relaxation response, which reduces the stress response. But the health of your gut-brain connection, and the neurotransmitters are one of those 3 ways that the gut and the brain are connected. We have the vagus nerve, which we'll talk about next week, the gut microbiome, your bacteria, your natural suite of bacteria, viruses, and these other little mini guys, archaea, in there. And it really affects so much. Your neurotransmitters are the 3rd way that your gut and brain are connected, right? How you feel, how you eat, your cravings, how well you can focus, your immune response, how quickly you can recover from illness or ward things off. But in regard to neurotransmitters, it really is a lot about our energy, our mood, things like that, as well as cravings. Okay, so if you've struggled with cravings or addictions like I have, or just habit resetting, things like that, your willpower cannot hold a candle to biochemistry. Okay, and here's a great example of the difference that getting these neurotransmitters back into balance can make. So with rehab clinics, did you know that addiction recovery rehab clinics, did you know that the success rate is 90-10, meaning that 1 out of 10 people that walk out of a rehab center are going to be successful in sustaining sobriety. 9 out of 10 people are going to relapse. That's terrible. That's a terrible recovery rate, right? And there was a clinic in San Francisco. There is a clinic in San Francisco where Julia Ross, and I'll share a link here in the comments if I can, or afterwards. Oh, good, the comments are up. Yay. Hey guys, welcome Sarah, Brenda, Pastor Brenda. So great to have you here. There's a clinic in San Francisco that basically flipped that percentage. And what did they do different? They introduced amino acid therapy. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, is the wonder of amino acid therapy and what it can do for you if you've been struggling with cravings or addiction, or maybe you're in sobriety but you're just not feeling great. Like you've got the post-addiction blahs, or just energy is off, or moods, or whatever. It can be a myriad of things that are off. And that's, willpower really cannot hold handle to biochemical reaction. And that's our, process. Biochemistry is going to win every single time. Okay. And then we can get really hard on ourselves and be down on ourselves. It's like, why can't I just not do it, or, do this healthy thing? And it's like, well, there's a chemical reaction going on inside of you, and that's chemistry is going to win. So this amino acid therapy, and there's this older book I have that's very dense and sciencey, but some of you may enjoy it. So amino acids and therapy. But it talks about, this was early on, talks about how they were starting to figure out the importance of amino acids in various disease releasing, and especially with depression and anxiety. Huge problems in our world today, right? And I don't know what the percentages are now, but it's definitely gone up with the pandemic and everything. What that pandemic did, a lot of potential benefits of getting to, be at home more, turn the gaze inward for some people, but for some people it just made all their stuff get magnified even more, and all their addictions, just really came out even more, okay? And so it's been a really tough time, and people are coming out of that now, but the willpower, it's just not enough. And we're going to talk about that on day 1 of the boot camp. It starts Friday. If you're in this group listening to this, you're already in the right group to attend it. There's going to be guides I'm going to post every day, June 4th through 6th, and there's a special bonus day on Monday. And it's really an amazing process. If you've done it before, you may even want to do it again, because it's so profound, this process. And Friday, we're diving into why willpower isn't enough. And this is part of the reason why willpower just isn't enough, is the neurotransmitter amino acid balance is off. Now, you do not need to go get a fancy test. I just want to say too, I always forget to say this, and I need to start saying this every time. I am not a doctor. I am not, a licensed practitioner. I am a holistic health coach and guide, an intuitive guide. And take what I say, take it in, take it with a grain of salt, run it by your, team of medical practitioners, okay? So do not take what I say as medical advice or anything like that, okay? But I just have to give you that disclaimer, right? But what I learned through Julia Ross's work really transformed my recovery and my ability to help others by helping others find what amino acid supplements could make the difference for their carb cravings and sugar cravings, right? Carb and sugar cravings, if you get some L-glutamine, you can get these capsules, and they help with blood sugar balance, but they also help you build muscle. And the L-glutamine is really great for sugar addiction or carb addiction. Since I have access to the comments, let me see if I can pop this in the comments real quick here. in case you want to pick some of that up. And you just take one of those capsules and open it up under your tongue. When you're having that craving, that's the biochemical reaction happening. That's the cascade. That's like, when you're in third or second grade where you build a volcano out of paper mache or clay, and you pour some baking soda down in it, and then you put vinegar in and it erupts. That's what's going on inside of us, right? And so we can help ourselves reset through these amino acid supplements. So for sugar or carb cravings, L-glutamine's great. Let me talk a little bit about, so again, Julia Ross had that success ratio at her rehab clinic in San Francisco through adding amino acid therapy, and it doesn't take forever to start to feel the benefits. Like with the sugar and carb cravings I'm talking about, you're literally breaking that capsule out under your tongue and you feel the effects. And if you don't feel the effects within, say 5 minutes or something, you just do another capsule under your tongue. And it addresses these foundational biochemical imbalances that get the neurotransmitters out of whack. Let me put a link to one of her books that I use primarily. So as I was starting to say, you don't need to necessarily take a urine test or cerebral spinal fluid test or blood platelet test to determine your neurotransmitter levels. You could do that. You could spend money on that. But what she figured out is that those tests are not always reliable. The quality of the test is going to go up depending on what you spend. So you could do those tests, but it relates to time of day, the type of test you do, all that. And so she figured out, in conjunction with doing those tests and working with patients over years and years and years, she figured out a questionnaire. So you can do a questionnaire and figure out, based on how you're feeling, what amino acids you need to bring in. And so you can bring these supplements in, and now we can also get amino acids from protein. So you want to make sure your protein intake is adequate, because amino acids are the building blocks to protein. And protein, when we eat protein, it's broken down into those amino acids. So think of it, Thanksgiving, when you have turkey dinner, for those of you who eat meat, and everybody gets sleepy and relaxed, that's tryptophan. That's L-tryptophan. That's that helps with, relaxing you, but it's also, that peaceful, easy, positive feeling, serotonin. So happy and sleepy, okay? Serotonin. And it helps, it's a natural antidepressant. Right? So we can get it from food, but if your digestion's off, you just may need some extra supplements. And what she's observed with people is you can work with the dosing, work with the questionnaire, figure out what amino acids you need, and then you can work with the dosing. And people have, she's saying like within a week to 10 days, people start to feel better. If they're depressed, their mood starts to lift. If they're a worrywart, stressed out, they need those natural tranquilizers, which GABA can provide. If they've got the blahs, just laying on the couch, no energy, have trouble waking up, that could be a thyroid thing, but it also often relates to the cats, the catecholamines, which she calls the cats. You got to wake your cats up. Think of a sleepy cat, just sleeping. But if you wake those cats up, then you have that energy, motivation, able to focus, things like that. And then natural painkillers as well. Not just physical pain, but emotional pain. And so a lot of times people that seek out opiates or things like that, they're actually soothing emotional pain as well. And so when you get your endorphins up, when the endorphins are at appropriate levels, you have natural feelings of comfort, pleasure, and euphoria, and your dopamine levels are adequate, and etc. So here is a link to Julia's amazing book. And if you don't want to get the book, I'm happy to send you the questionnaire. I scanned it for one of my clients so I can message you just the questionnaire, and you can figure out, I can help you figure out what amino acids that you need to bring in. But the mood cure is one of her books, and let me grab the link for one of her other ones. So this is great if you've been dealing with depression, anxiety, blahs, are super sensitive, moody, or super stressed out. It's really, really helpful. And then if you've done a lot of yo-yo dieting or struggle with food as an addiction, then I would suggest also getting the diet cure. And again, it has a questionnaire that helps you figure out what amino acid supplements you can bring in to help stabilize your neurotransmitters. Okay, so L-tryptophan is a precursor to 5-HTP. That's a precursor to serotonin. Serotonin's a precursor to melatonin. Okay, so these things, these chemical chain reactions occur inside of us. Tyrosine converts to phenylalanine, which converts to dopamine. That's our reward, motivation, pleasure, and that in turn converts to norepinephrine and adrenaline. So you're like kind of your get up and go thing. Your ability to manage pain and feel pleasure. Okay. So it's really amazing how getting our neurotransmitters back in balance, what that can do for cravings, for moods, for weight loss, because the neurotransmitters also relate to the hormone balance and everything. It's all, we're not super simple beings, right? And we're going to dive in on Friday and talk more about why willpower isn't enough. And you'll learn about the other aspect of why willpower isn't enough. Today we're focusing in on the biochemical aspect and improving that gut brain health. So okay, so Brenda's asking for the quiz for the mood cure. Totally, we'll send that to you. And oh yeah, sugar in cigarettes. There's sugar. They put so much sugar in cigarettes, guys. Oh my gosh. Because I don't know why. Tastes better, makes it more addictive. I don't know why they do that. Well, tobacco is also cured with sugar, so it's part of the process of curing the tobacco is putting sugar on the tobacco to cure it and to dry it. And Sarah's asking about the norepinephrine cause. And also, I think she's also asking about anything for being vegan. Yeah. With being vegan, and I'll come to that norepinephrine here in a moment, but being vegan, and you probably already know this, you want to make sure that when you're eating foods, you want to have food combinations that create a complete protein. So like beans and rice make a complete protein. And that was my mistake when I was first playing with vegetarianism, veganism, when I was 19 years old. I didn't know about that. And so I was pretty carb heavy. I wasn't combining foods correctly, and it just didn't work for me. I took myself kind of way out of balance. And as far as the norepinephrine goes, I'll send you some more information on that, Sarah. But the norepinephrine, the foundational things for that are usually, and you'd want to take the quizzes in the book to make sure. The Diet Cure website, Julia Ross, the Diet Cure, I think the questionnaire is available on her website. But if you can't find it or you don't want to get the book or whatever, just send me a message. I can scan it for you. The Mood Cure website, the questionnaire, the digital questionnaire is down. That's why I scanned that one for my client. But so there's a quiz you can take to see if you need that. But typically for the norepinephrine, it relates to your endorphins. Endorphins are, again, our natural painkillers, help us reduce pain and feel more pleasure. And oftentimes that relates to taking L-tyrosine, bringing L-tyrosine in to help. That converts to, those various things I mentioned, the dopamine, the norepinephrine, the adrenaline. Now, if you already have adequate amounts, that's going to make you anxious or agitated. So you want to, take the quiz, or take a very low dose if you're going to try that. And the other thing would be the phenylalanine. So tyrosine or phenylalanine, one of those might be preferable to getting that norepinephrine. And again, I'm not a doctor, but I have, worked with myself and guided others. But really, we really use these questionnaires when I'm guiding other people. I just want to emphasize her work is so profound and powerful. So I encourage you to pick these books up. I put them in the chat. You can get digital versions. I think the link is to the paperback versions because I like books. And so when our neurotransmitters are off, we can have these cravings. We can have this moodiness. We can have the blahs. We can just not feel inspired or motivated. We can be carrying extra stress because of the biochemistry. And, sure, breath work and all our mind body practices and all the things, all the other things that we do can help. But this is super foundational, guys, because think of that example of that volcano that you make in elementary school where you're adding the vinegar to the baking soda. That is happening in us, and you can't will yourself or positive attitude yourself out of some of these states, right? And then we feel like, gosh, why can't I just, feel better or be more positive? And it's like, just remember that it's biochemistry. It's chemistry. Okay, so that'll help you be easier on yourself too. So super excited to do this boot camp with everyone. It's a free 3-day challenge for healthy habit evolution. It gives you a new perspective on your behaviors, your root causes, your whys, WHYS, your whys. You get whys about your whys. And as well as what works and what doesn't when it comes to healthy habit evolution and releasing self-sabotage or those thought feel loops that run. And again, this is one thing we talk about during the boot camp, but there's some other things that are very key as well. So I invite you to join. And if you can't be there live, the recordings are available for a few days. And I just have them available for a few days to help everyone focus in and stay focused and get the work done. Where instead of assigning homework this time, we're actually going to do the exercises with me. I'm going to guide you through the exercises because it helps my procrastinators. It helps them actually get the things done. Okay, so there will be a workbook that I post later today. I'm going to build out that pre-boot camp guide that I started yesterday. So we'll post the workbook in there. I can also message it to you. And we're going to have a really amazing time this weekend. I invite you to join in, invite your friends, and it's all happening here in the All About Woo tribe. So just if you know somebody that could benefit from this, you want to send them like a private message instead of just inviting them to the group. Just send them a private message. Maybe say, hey, there's this challenge going on in this group, so here's why I'm inviting you into this group. So just give them a heads up why you're want them to join this tribe, so they're not like, what is this woo thing? So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna hop back into the comments. I'm gonna wrap this up for today and answer your questions. I really appreciate you being here live with me. It means so much to me that you would spend time with me and encourage me and support me and co-create in this space. I look forward to seeing many of you on Friday for the boot camp, and check out Julia Ross's work. So profound and amazing. We got to get this news out to the world. The mood cure and the diet cure. The links for the books are in the comments, and I know some of you are wanting me to send you those digital scans, so I will do that for you. Namaste, y'all.